Hello and welcome back to my channel, Craft Time by Casey. I am Casey, and today this is the holiday festive pendant necklace that I will be making. Most of the components came from GGC's Winter Wonders treasure bag. And if you are interested in the treasure bag, I will have all the information in the description box below. I definitely encourage you to go check it out. And keep in mind that she does not have a monthly subscription for her treasure bags, but she does have a notification list. So you definitely want to get signed up to be notified when she releases her treasure bags because they sell out very quickly. So if you would like to see how this pendant necklace came about, then stay tuned. All right, so I'm going to start with the tools that I will be using. I have 2 sets of chain nose pliers, 1 set of round nose pliers, and 1 set of cutters. And I have 1 set of crimping pliers. And I want to mention my tool set. It is the Casual Comfort tool set. And as the name suggests, this is the most comfortable tool set I have found. It is very high quality, very well made. And the biggest reason for that, in my opinion, is the size. A lot of times jewelry making tools will be made a little bit smaller, and these seem to be made for adult size hands. And as you can see, the grips are a little bit larger as well. So I will have this tool set linked below, along with everything else I use in the video that did not come from the treasure bag. I will also link below the opening video I did for the treasure bag, and it will have a detailed description of everything that came from the box, like these red crystal bicones that are going to kind of be the highlight of the pendant. And I really love the splash of red in this chandelier, so this will certainly be the centerpiece. From my own stash, I will be using these flower bead caps. I will also be using some crimp tubes, jump rings, and a lobster clasp. So the first thing I'm going to make is the pendant and everything that is hanging from the pendant. So for each one of these components, I'm going to use a ball end pin, and I have one of these clear crystals that has that English cut on it, and then a 4mm round faceted bead that came in the treasure bag. So I'm going to take my round nose pliers and go just above that top bead, bend it, just like that, bend it back with my fingers. You can see that loop going with my cutters. And then before I close this loop, I'm going to connect it here. On this, I'm going to connect 4 of these, and it's going to be every other one, starting from the outside. So I'm going to connect right here, just like that, and then go back in with my round nose pliers and close that loop, just like that. And it should hang very loosely. And now I'm going to do the same thing, just like this, connected to every other one. So we're going to do this one in between here, the one on the other side here, and then on the opposite end. And then we will meet back up. All right, so here it is. As you can see, like I said, every other one. So now we're going to do the components that go on the opposite ones. So we're going to take these bicone crystals and also put them on a ball end pin. Go just above it, bend back, go into that loop, and this time we are not connecting it yet. We are just going to close that loop. Just like that, do it 2 more times. All right, so we have 3 of them. And now here is how we're going to connect them. I have already cut 1-inch lengths of chain. I have 3 of them here, and we're going to connect them to the chandelier. Now, first thing I'm going to do is get a clamshell on either side. So I'm going to take a crimp tube. So I have that crimp tube right at the end, and I'm going to take my crimping pliers, go into that second divot, and give it a good smash. Get that taco shape, turn it on its side, go into that second divot, give it another good smash, And then with that flat part on the end, I'm going to give it the final smash. So I want this to be good and snug. And there you go. And at this point, you can put the opposite end through one of these clamshells. Once you get that crimp tube in the middle, you can pinch it closed with your fingers. Just like that. And on the opposite end, you have to put the clamshell on there first, or you won't be able to. So I'm going to put that on there and kind of let it fall down, just like that. I'm going to put another crimp tube on the opposite end, just like that, and hold it there with my nail. Take my crimping pliers and do the same thing. That second divot, give it a good smash. Get that taco shape. Turn it on its side, go into the first divot, give it another good smash. And then I'm going to take that flat part on the end and give it the final smash, just like that, nice and snug. And now that clamshell that's on there, I'm going to pull it up so that crimp tube is inside of it and pinch it closed, just like that. So you're going to have a 1-inch piece with clamshells on either side. And the neat part about this is the actual clamshell will end up looking kind of like a silver spacer bead or a silver bead part of the design. So I'll show you how I'll connect one, and then all three are made the same way. I'm going to take a 4mm jump ring, open it, and then I'm going to connect it to that middle one right here. Take my 1-inch that we just made, this kind of connector, put one end just like that, close this jump ring so it kind of hangs. Take another 4mm jump ring, open it, and connect this to the other side like that, and connect one of the large crystal bicones and close the jump ring. And as you can see, it drops just like that. And all three of these are connected the same way, and connected up here, like I said, it just looks like a silver bead. I think that is so pretty. So we're going to connect the other two the exact same way and then meet back up. All right, so here it is with all of the parts, and I just think this pendant turns out absolutely beautiful. And because of the V shape of this chandelier, you can see, of course, the bicones fall at different lengths, even though they're all 1-inch. Okay, so now I'm going to set this to the side, and we are going to work on the chain. So simple pattern here. So we're going to use one of the 4mm round white beads, just like that. And then we have the flower bead caps on either side of 3 of these 6mm red beads. So just like this, and I'm going to do this 2 more times. All right, just like this. Now, before we do this again for the other side, what we're going to do is take one of the bails that came in the box and put that on here with the larger of the 2 loops, just like that in the center. And that white bead is too big. It will not go through that bail, so it'll catch right in between. And we're going to do exactly this pattern on the other side of this bail. All right, so here is the whole piece. And as you can see, that bail in the middle has a 4mm on either side, so it's kind of caught in the middle, which is exactly what you want as it hangs down, just like that. So now you want to make sure that it's even and in the center of the chain. So just like that, 2 ends together and even, and you pull it, and you want to make sure it's even at the bottom. So now I'm going to put another crimp tube, and this one is a smaller round crimp tube on one end, and I'm going to go ahead and be hyper careful and double check to make sure that it's even once again, just like that, so that it doesn't move. And then the crimp tube on this end, I'm going to go ahead and take my chain nose pliers once it's in place and give it a good smash. And then once it's in place, it's okay if the beads move. I'm gonna go back in there and just give it another good smash so that it doesn't move, just like that. And now the beads are in place, so now I can do the other side. I'm gonna put another crimp tube on the other side, actually one of the round crimp beads. Make it go down, just like that. And now you can see it's not sliding or falling on the other end. And on this side, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna get it in my chain nose pliers and give it a good smash once I get it in place. And then the beads shouldn't move. So now the beads are in place on the chain and they won't move. So now I need to put the clamshells on the end here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put one through. So before you put the crimp tube on the end, of course you have to go ahead and put it on there because you don't have access from the other side. So you can just kind of let that fall. And I'm gonna put a crimp tube on the end, just like that. And go in with my crimping pliers and give it a good smash. Turn it, go into the first divot, give it another smash, and then go in with that flat part at the end and give it that final smash because you want it to be good and snug. Pull that clamshell back up to the top where it catches and then pinch it closed, just like that. And do the same thing on the other side. So here we go on either end. Take a 4mm jump ring, open, connect to one side with a lobster clasp. And on the other side, you're going to take a 6mm jump ring and connect it. Then close it back. And you can connect the end just like that. And now all we have to do is connect the pendant to the bail. Grab another jump ring. I'm going to connect that pendant to the jump ring to the bail and close it. And here we have our festive holiday necklace. I'm gonna set this up on the display so we can see it better. All right, so here it is, and I absolutely love the way it came out. Those crystal bicone beads, they just set the whole necklace off, along with that centerpiece, that chandelier. I love that touch of red in the center. I just think it's so pretty. So again, if you are interested in GGC's treasure bag, and I really think that you should be, I will have all the information in the description box below. I definitely think you should go check it out and make sure you sign up to be notified. Remember, she does not have a monthly subscription, and when she puts her treasure bags up for sale, they sell out very quickly. So if you like this video and you want to see other videos just like this, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below and give me a like. Leave a comment. I absolutely love reading my comments. You guys are so kind, and I definitely look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.